Welcome to Cityscope, a podcast where we talk about City of Salina services, projects, and initiatives in depth. I'm your host, David Hawksworth, and today on the program we have Susan Hawksworth, who's the director of the Smoky Hill Museum. Susan, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. The Smoky Hill Museum has a lot of stuff going on. First and foremost at this time of year is the Smoky Hill Museum Street Fair, which is the 27th of September this year. And so tell us about what's going on with that.
Oh, yes, that is a busy day. As always, we start out with a parade at 10 a.m. that goes down Santa Fe from Elm Street to South Street. So you can pick a location you want to sit and do that. And then you can come, when that's over, you can head right down to the museum where we have lots of fun activities going on.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the parade. There's usually a lot of entries. A parade usually goes probably in 40
minutes. Yeah, somewhere in there.
And then after the parade, what happens after that?
The activities start up down at the museum. We have all kinds of activities from music, crafts, food, you name it. We got it going on.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about all the activities that are going on, and a lot of them are geared to kids, so tell us about that.
There are quite a few geared towards kids. We have fun, almost carnival-like activities, but done in an Old West style, because that is the theme for the street fair, is Old West and Autumn Glory kind of theme.
Okay.
So some of those activities are a cowboy catapult, beanbag toss, and a crazy cup toss.
So what is a cowboy catapult?
There is a small catapult, and you try to fling a giant washer to knock over some, I think, bottles, if I recall.
Okay.
So it's a little tiny catapult, and we just named it a cowboy catapult to go with the Old West theme.
Sort of like an Old West Angry Birds.
Kind of, yes. No pigs involved.
Okay. What other kids' activities do we have?
Then we also have rope making with Dean Gipe. He's always a favorite to be there. And we are going to have some ropers there doing some demonstrations and helping kids learn to rope a steer. That will only be from after the parade till about 2-ish. Mm-hmm. The events themselves go from after the parade to 4 p.m.
Okay.
that day. And then we have crafts. Make and take crafts. I don't have all of those craft ideas with me, other than the ever popular gourd decorating will be there.
Okay.
So you'll get a gourd and you can decorate it however you wish. Feathers, sparkles, googly eyes, you name it. You can find something to decorate your gourd with. Or if you don't want to do much decorations, you can have a lovely little gourd. Mm-hmm. Then we have face painters with Color Me Crazy. They'll be doing tattoos, cowboy-inspired or Old West-inspired tattoos.
Temporary tattoos.
Temporary tattoos, yes, for kids. And caricaturists, we have 2 caricaturists coming. Those are always very popular. I know people would like to get that one done every year and see the difference. Mm-hmm. So we have 2 great caricaturists coming. And then for young crowds and older crowds, we have Buffalo Soldiers are back. They will be on the lawn of the First United Methodist Church, so they can pitch their tent and talk to you about what it was like to be a Buffalo Soldier in the Old West. Mm-hmm. We have the Salina Woodcarvers coming.
Yeah, okay. That's new this year.
That's new this year. They'll be demonstrating how they carve wood and make all kinds of things. And then we have a Brewster Roof Seat Break, which is a long, interesting name for a wagon/buggy kind of an Old West conveyance. No horses will be there.
Okay.
But we will have a wagon that people can see. I'm not sure if they can climb on it or not. I did not ask that question. And it's coming from McGilvray Farms in Bird City.
Okay, so right up in northwest Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right, well, that's a lot of activity right there.
Yes, and I forgot the Boy Scouts will be back teaching knot tying as well.
Okay, great. So in addition to all those activities, we have music as well.
That's right. We have some great music lined up. We have right at 11 since we don't know how long the parade lasts, we wait until 11 to start up our music. And that will be a new group called Sally and the Hurts. They are an American roots trio from north central Kansas. They bring beautifully crafted violin, haunting melodic musical saw, and a finger-picking guitar to the stage. So that should be a lot of fun. They have been at River Festival before, so you may have seen them there, but we're going to have them at Street Fair. They're performing at 11 and at 3.
Okay.
At noon is Don Wagner and Friends. He's an old favorite here at the museum for Street Fair. It's a 4-piece group of local musicians who do diverse musical pieces. They arrange and perform a variety of musical genres from folk to country to rock and blues and some original compositions, so that should be fun. Following that is Still Scarecrow, who is another performer we've had before at the Street Fair, and they are bringing special guest Jared Brown and the Dirt Road Misfits.
Okay.
They are from the Wichita area, and they have their own kind of unique sound that blend 90s country with modern country and red dirt and southern soul into kind of a sound all their own.
So it's a unique sound.
So it's a unique sound, yeah. And then following them at about 2:10, because at 2 o'clock we announced the chili cook-off winners, which we haven't talked about yet. And at 2:10 will be Nick Taylor. He's a local up-and-coming artist. He has a lot of energy and passion. He's been there a couple years ago as well, and has always been a fan favorite. He has a great gravelly voice as well as an ability to wail out heartbreak. So he should be a good, fun performer. He does modern and 90s country favorites.
Okay. Well, that's really a great musical lineup there. So you mentioned the chili cook-off, and that's it's really become a big part of the street fair in the past few years.
It has. I did not check to see how many chilies we have coming yet this year. They're still coming in, so we are going to have a good lineup of chilies this year. We're going to start a little bit earlier. I think we're going to try to start selling tickets right after the parade ends, because I think all the chili was ready about that time last year. I can't think the Episcopal Church, they're just across this catty corner to us on 8th Street, is providing cornmeal muffins again this year until those last, so we'll give those out while supplies last. We're also going to provide a small bottle of water to help cleanse between chilies. It may not be enough for a spicy chili, but it'll give you a little something to drink with. The price to taste is $2.50. Get a sample all the chilies, and then you get to vote on your favorite for a People's Choice winner. And then we'll have some judges who will pick a chili for a judge's winner.
Okay. Yeah, it's there's really a kind of a very wide variety of flavors of chili that are featured each year. So that's a good way to kind of get a cheap lunch, I guess. But there's also a lot of other food there if you don't like chili.
That's right. We have some great favorites coming back. We have and some new ones. Cora Tacos. Can't think of their exact name, but they're a regular food truck around town. So we're going to have some Mexican food. We should have, they're fried, not a fritter.
Funnel cake?
Funnel cake. Yes, funnel cake. We should have funnel cakes there as well. The kettle corn, popcorn. But we have some great food vendors lined up to come to the street fair, so there's be pretty good.
Okay, cool. And then, of course, it wouldn't be the Smoky Hill Museum Street Fair without the Smoky Hill Museum, and you people are welcome to come in and view the exhibits in the museum.
That's right. We do kind of limit the number that come in because it gets so busy and popular that we want everyone to enjoy their time in the museum. So it won't be a long wait, but you may have to wait just a little bit to get in. Admission is free, but it's always free. So if you don't get in that day, you can come back another day. But the great exhibit that's up right now and through the street fair is Kansas Battleground for Freedom. It's all about Kansas forming as a state and whether it would be free or slave. It's a precursor to the Civil War and really foreshadows the Civil War and what's going to come about with the Civil War.
Yeah, it's a very interesting exhibit, and it really lays out the debate on both sides of the issue very well, and then what the consequences were of that.
That's right.
So,
We are always needing volunteers up until that week of. So please go on smokyhillmuseum.org if you want to be a part of the street fair and help create some magic for other community members and sign up to volunteer for the street fair.
yeah, I think you had mentioned at one point it takes about 80 volunteers or so
I
to.
think it's a little more than 80
Okay.
to
Okay.
help get the event going.
And what kinds of jobs are there?
There's a variety and different time schedules, and if there's something you want to do but you can't do the full time, give us a call. We'll fit you in as we can. But some of the jobs are, well, you get to get up early and help set up the event if you like. If you don't want to be around large crowds, if that's not your thing. We also need people to help move some barricades for the parade before it starts and then after it starts. That's the best gig in my opinion, because you spend about 3 minutes moving some barricades, you get to stand there, get a great view of the parade, move it off, and then you're done. So that's a great little job. And then we have people that help with the make and take crafts, and people that help with the activities, the cowboy catapult and beanbag toss and those things as well. And then we have museum greeters who help keep the flow of people coming in and through the museum and making sure that food is not taken into the gallery because we don't allow that. And some of that, and even a gallery attendant that just kind of goes around the gallery and makes sure everybody's enjoying themselves.
Okay. It's truly a community event because there's so many people that not only attend but help to make that street fair a success.
Yes, it's very much a community event. There are 3 ways to get involved. It's the chili cook-off, there's the parade entries, and then there's volunteering themselves. And then I should say 4. 4th is coming down and enjoying the event.
Right. Okay. So September 27th is the big day. The parade starts at 10 o'clock down Santa Fe, and then come to the museum at 8th and Iron at about 10:45, 11 o'clock, and take advantage of everything that's there. So
Yeah, until 4 p.m.
Until
It's a
4
great
p.m.
day.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not the only thing that goes on at the museum, and I should say that for people who haven't been in Salina a really long time, the museum has been downtown almost 40 years now in the old post office building. But I think it's always very interesting that the museum used to be in Oakdale Park,
Right.
in one of the old bathhouses there, and so which doesn't exist anymore. So
Right. And before that, it was in the Carnegie Library, which doesn't exist.
Right. So the museum actually has a very long history in Salina. It's not just the 40 years that it's been downtown.
Correct. Actually, it even goes before the Carnegie to one of the town founders' homes, Alexander Campbell, because he held there was a Saline County Historical Society that the founders started, and in order to join, you had to donate an item to the society, and that's how the museum started, and that was in 1879. So we have artifacts that were donated since 1879 on up through today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing to think that you have artifacts that are almost 150 years old.
Oh, well, we have artifacts that are older than that, but that have been in the museum 150 years is really fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, and for those of you who haven't been in the museum before, which I hope you have, but there's a permanent exhibit
Correct.
in the museum, and then you have temporary exhibits that go for 4 to 6 months, I think.
Yes, typically about 6 months. Like I said, the Kansas Battleground for Freedom is one of those. These are featured in our center gallery. The permanent gallery kind of goes around that, and that name is a little bit of a misnomer. The gallery story stays the same, but artifacts change out throughout that gallery every 18 months. About every month or so, we rotate items in a different section, and it takes about 18 months to get through the whole gallery. So over the course of a year, all but a handful of artifacts are changed out to new things to see. But our center gallery, the Kansas Battleground for Freedom, like I said, is up. It actually closes the following weekend of the street fair. October 4th is its last day. And then we're going to have a 1950s exhibit, 1950s An American Dream, which goes over, yes, it was a dream for most, but not all. So it covers some of other issues that were going on in the 50s besides just the nostalgic ones. And that it will run through February because we have a special, that one's not quite 6 months, but we have a very special opportunity to be a host of a traveling Smithsonian exhibit, The Americans, which comes in March. And it talks about how Native American culture has really impacted American culture overall. And it does focus on three main stories, Pocahontas, the Trail of Tears, and Battle of the Little Bighorn.
Okay.
Are the three main stories, but it does talk about how, everything, we have Native American influence in a lot of American culture.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll bet.
So,
Okay.
and that's only here for a month. And then we will go into, next year is a very big year. It's the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So America's 250th birthday is next year, and we're going to have an exhibit to celebrate that. More on the making of history and who it'll be more about how history is saved for future generations and kept going. Since Kansas obviously wasn't one of the original 13 colonies. We didn't want to start with just Revolutionary War, although we do have a Revolutionary War artifact that will be on exhibit. But we do have, it'll talk about basically what museums are and how they go about their jobs.
Okay, so a little behind the scenes.
A little bit behind the scenes and the storytelling that happens with museums. And then after that exhibit, come next fall, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of the museum in the post office.
Okay. Okay, well, that'll be a good retrospective too, I guess.
Yes, it will. And I'm going to put a plug out here now. If you have stories or even photographs of you visiting the museum in the past, we would love to hear from you. It might become a part of the exhibit. You never know.
Right.
Or if you were a past volunteer, we would love to hear from you.
Okay. All right. Well, lots of exciting stuff coming up, and all of that's a great reason to keep coming back to the museum again and again. Not to mention the children's area there, the Curiosity Shop.
Right. The Curiosity Shop is a all hands-on area, so it's a really fun place for everybody to go to. You can make your own radio program. You can play with the giant light bright. We have a wind tornado that you can get in, as well as fog tornadoes that you can play with the speed and even stick your hand in our Kansas weather room. And we have a 1940s clubhouse up in the second story of that little space where you can play games, do a puppet theater, and listen to some stories from the 1920s.
Okay.
Did I say 1940s clubhouse? I'm in a 1920s, 1930s. I'll get the decade right. Dirt Bowl, 1930s
Okay.
clubhouse.
All right. So yeah, it's a really great place for kids. So great place for adults to see Kansas history, and great place for kids to learn about it too. So another great way to learn about history is attending the First Thursday events too.
Right. We have lots of great First Thursday events. Almost every first Thursday of every month, we have a new topic and speaker. We plan those all throughout the year. If you ever have a topic idea, just throw it at us, and we'll see if what we can do with it.
I know you do take a couple of months off, I think in July and December.
July, December, and January.
In January, okay.
Yeah.
So 9 presentations a year.
Yeah.
And those are so varied. It's really incredible how many different aspects of history have been presented over the years, because this has been something that's been going for
a very long time.
A very long time, probably 20 years at least.
It's close to, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then another aspect of the museum is the Friends of the Smoky Hill Museum. So tell us about that.
Yeah, some of you may not know that the city runs the museum, and so we have a Friends organization that helps raise money to help provide additional items for the museum. Some of the biggest things, of course, are helping with renovation of galleries and exhibits. They run the museum store. So the Friends are very vital to helping tell the story of the museum, and it's a great way to learn more about the museum if you join and become a member. It only takes $35 to be a Friends member. Of course, if you have more means and want to provide a bit more, that's wonderful. But you get a newsletter every quarter telling about upcoming programming and what's going on at the museum, as well as e-blasts and invitations to event openings. So you get to see the exhibits before anybody else does.
Okay. Yeah, those are always good. Because there's usually a little presentation beforehand, so you get
Right. You get to learn a little bit about how that exhibit came about and what it's about. So.
Okay. Well, there's so much going on at the museum, as we've learned, and it's just a great place to learn about Kansas history and to be a part of the community. So, tell us about where the museum is located. What hours are you open?
Okay. The museum is located at 211 West Iron, so right across the street from the First United Methodist Church. We are always free, so admission, there's no barrier to entry, and we are open Tuesday through Fridays, 11 to 5, and Saturdays, 10 to 5.
Okay. All right. So I really highly encourage everyone watching and listening to visit the museum and learn about Kansas history. So, Susan, I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for being on the program.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time on Cityscope.